Hi guys, and welcome back to Helltaker, the Second Circle. For last time, me and Strada went on a trip. And it's not exactly that kind of trip you would think. I would try to explain it, but I probably shouldn't. In fact, just go watch the video of her second date for yourselves to see what I mean. 'Cause, woman! Today we are gonna be going at Azazel's second date. So what does the only angel in this group have in store for us now? Here we go. After your debacle at the museum, Azazel sequesters herself to her room for days on end. And if it weren't for communal meal times, you wouldn't see her at all. Or she's just busy on, research. Although she seems relatively composed during breakfast and dinner, her solitude at all other times of the day, while not entirely abnormal, concerns you. The museum was the perfect place for her to gather up a lot of information for a thesis in a relatively short amount of time, after all. But now that she's been banned... Oh yeah, I forgot, we did something, she did something back in the museum that made her banned. Oh yeah, that's right. She called out an art piece as fake. That's right. You worry that she isn't taking things all too well. So one day you decide to check in with the curious angel. You knock at her door, unsure of what to expect. Come in! But Azazel sounds just as chipper as ever. Hey, it's just me. Huzzah! Mr. Taker! Okay, you sound a bit happy. You came at the perfect time! I've just finished sorting through them and organizing all of my notes from the museum. You glance to the side and see 7 neat piles of notes stacked precariously on top of Azazel's desk. How big are those piles, woman? So that's what you've been doing up here all this time? Yep! Thanks to our trip to the museum, I think I'll be able to shorten the time it'll take for me to finish my thesis by about a decade. A decade? That's a lot. Well, maybe not so much for demons, angels. Whatever. ... Aren't you upset that we can't go back? A little. But that's okay. I'm just happy I was able to get the information I got. Thanks to you, I'll be able to finish my thesis 0.00001% quicker. Okay, so in other words, Sonic fast. That's certainly good to hear. So what do you say we take a bit of a break to celebrate? That depends. What sort of break did you have in mind? Well, there's an ice cream cart in the park that I hear just expanded their selection to 16 flavors. I was thinking we could go there and maybe sample all of them. Wait, all of them? Why though? Perhaps we could even think about it as research for your thesis? I'm sure you'll need the section on frozen treats sooner or later, right? At your suggestion, Azazel's eyes become as wide as saucers. Okay. She hurriedly jots something down in her notebook before leaping to her feet. Oh god, what does she have in mind? The angel dashes for the door, grabbing you by the arm on her way out. Whoa, okay. I guess we're on our way. Don't just sit there, Mr. Taker. There's research to be done. She all but drags you down the stairs. You just barely managed to snag your keys off the hook by the front door as you were shoved outside. At your back, you catch the sound of someone shouting after you. Pandemonic, okay. What in the... Where are you off to in such a hurry? Ice cream! Ah. If they have a coffee flavor, you better bring me a scoop. Oh god, you know what? I'm gonna admit this right now. Coffee desserts are... delicious. I prefer that over straight coffee any day. You turn to respond but find that the door has already slammed shut behind you. Looking up ahead, you see that Azazel is already sitting in the passenger seat, her face pressed firmly against the window. Sighing, you hop behind the wheel. Soon the engine roars to life, and you set your sights for the park. And we are here, just like that. At the very moment you pull in, Azazel hops out and draws her notebook from her belt like some sort of action hero. You then lead the way forward until you hear the ice cream cart's soft jingle calling out to you. Ah, there we are. With Azazel bouncing at your heels, you approach the man at the cart. Lev? I thought you retired. The old man sighs and looks at you with a wary expression hidden beneath his artificially cheerful customer service mask. Okay, I see what you did here, game. Aware of the current times, huh? I wish, my friend. Fortunately, my days here are numbered. Oh? Hired my replacement not too long ago. She's an odd one for sure, but she'll do. Don't tell me it's Abby. We've seen her work at the club. We've seen her work at, this burger joint. And I think we are gonna see her work at this ice cream truck. In any case, what can I get you guys today? First 2 scoops are on me. You glance back at Azazel. The angel returns your look with one of wide-eyed anticipation. We'll take one of everything, Lev. Though the old man raises an eyebrow, he doesn't protest. Coming right up. With that, he begins scooping out dollops of ice cream onto cones and handing it to you and Azazel. As you are watching the man dole out ice cream, you feel a weight at your back. You can't shake the feeling that you were being spied upon. But when you turn to look around, you see nothing but an empty park. I'm pretty sure it's that smug Neko waifu demon girl. ... It doesn't take long before your arms fill up with ice cream. Fortunately, Lev is kind enough to provide you with a solution for such a problem in the form of a cardboard tray which holds all of your cones for you. True to his word, you get the first 2 scoops for free. Nice. Sadly, you have to pay for the other 14. It shouldn't be that much, right? After coughing up the cash, you and Azazel scout out a nice bench where you can sit out and sample all of the flavors. As you are treating yourself to a hearty sample of mint chocolate chip. Ooh, oh, that's a nice flavor. The sensation of being watched returns. This time, however, you turn to find the source and are startled to discover a familiar stout little man standing directly behind you. Short, stout little... Oh! I think you must be talking about that guy from the museum that Azazel called out. What the hell? You nearly drop your tray of ice creams as you leap from your seat. Azazel, who had been taking note of her ice cream's viscosity, follows your gaze and, upon discovering the source of your fright, screams as well. Yep, it is this dude. It is the guardian of the Renaissance exhibit. He has come to exact his revenge. Save the ice cream! Yeah, sure. Save the ice cream first. Just as it looks like Azazel is going to flee, the man interjects. Please, I mean you no harm. I only ask that you hear me out. You and Azazel exchange a hesitant glance. Alright. I came to apologize for chasing you out of the museum the other day. Wait, so you sought us out? How did you find us? Actually, that's a good question. That is not important. I think it's pretty important. What is important is that you were right, miss. I was? Yes. And so I was wrong to shout at you the way that I did. But I implore you to understand my position in the matter. The claim you made was damning. Something like that can ruin my reputation in an instant. Oh. And with the museum struggling for funding as it is... ... I desperately wanted to brush off your accusation as baseless, but I just couldn't bring myself to ignore it. Your claim needled into my mind to such a degree that I found myself unable to sleep at night. And perhaps that is because I, too, had my doubts regarding the validity of some of those pieces. Quite a handful of them are so rare that I wonder how I ever managed to get my hands on them. But that is neither here nor there. What I am trying to say is that my curiosity got the better of me. And so I hired a forensic arts specialist to suss out the truth of the matter. I thought that hearing it from an expert would put my anxious mind at ease. However, much to my chagrin, she confirmed right away that the piece in question was a forgery. Oof, big oof to you, bro. At this, the tearful man puts his face in his hands and begins to quietly sob. What am I to do now? Unsure of what to say, you look to Azazel. The angel frowns, but sits next to the man and begins to pat him on the back. Would you like some ice cream? Ha! How nice of the little angel. Boy, I know that it's tough finding out that your art pieces are forged, because I'm pretty sure you didn't really pick them out yourself. They were just given to you. So, how about we just cheer up over some good old ice cream? And speaking of ice cream, oh man, those look so good. I could totally go for ice cream right now, honestly. Azazel offers the man her cone. Touched by the gesture, the curator smiles in spite of his tears and graciously accepts the frozen treat. Thank you. I wish there was more we could do. Well, if you'll permit me, there's a little more to this story. There is? Indeed. After hearing from the forensic specialist, I grew suspicious. I was certain that I had had that piece inspected before approving it for the gallery. So I decided to dig out my old records, thinking that I must have missed something. But when I found the certification for that piece, it wasn't a forgery when you got it, was it? Precisely. So maybe someone switched it out and robbed the original? Now that is a conundrum. Do you think someone could have stolen the original? Yeah, just like I, proposed. And replaced it with a fake? I have my suspicions, but no way to prove them correct. As I said before, the museum's funding is tremulous at best. I'm ashamed to admit that I dug into the last of our budget just to hire that specialist to verify the validity, or lack thereof rather, for just the one piece. Though I believe that some of the other paintings may have been stolen as well, I am at the end of my rope. Without money, I cannot prove these beliefs to be correct. And I'm afraid that if I were to call the authorities, the news would paint me as a charlatan who deals in fakes. I cannot have that happen. So, you were wondering if we would help you figure out which of your pieces were fakes. I'm guessing that's where it's leading us to. Yes. Though you feel a certain amount of sympathy for the art curator's plight, since the responsibility of sleuthing out forgeries falls upon Azazel's shoulders, the onus is on her to accept or deny the request. As such, you look to the angel to see what it is she plans to do. Well, I mean, her being an angel, the answer should be obvious. From the look in Azazel's eyes, you can tell that her heart aches for the man just as much as yours does. Before she can open her mouth to accept his request, however, the curator bursts into tears. Through his sobs, you could just barely make out his pleas. I have little that I can offer in return, and I wouldn't blame you for saying no after how I've treated you thus far. But please, I beg of you to lend me your charity just this once, and I promise I will repay it in kind. Taken aback by the man's sorrow, Azazel looks to you for affirmation. With a nod, you agree silently to help the pure curator. Mr. Curator, please don't cry. We will help you. All at once, the sobbing stops and the man looks up to Azazel with a look of hope. Do you mean that? We do. We won't be able to come today, but we will make time to be there soon. Hearing this, the curator leaps to his feet and hurries to shake your hand. Through tears still glistening at the corners of his eyes, the radiance of his joy quickly dries them away. Any time will do, really. Just give me a call when you're on your way and I will shut down the exhibit for you both. Will do. I wish there was something I could do in return, but the only thing in my power to offer is a first look at all new exhibits before they're put out onto the museum floor. Oh, that got our angel's attention. Typically, this is a privilege reserved for historians and researchers. But would that be something you are interested in? You glance over the curator's shoulder. Azazel's eyes are gleaming with excitement. Yeah, I think we'd like that very much. I am glad to hear it. I look forward to your call. And with that, the curator departs. As you watch him leave, you cannot help but notice a certain spring in his step. Turning back to Azazel, still awestruck by the opportunity that has fallen neatly into your laps, you let out a sigh. It's getting late. Shouldn't we be heading home too? Can we go to the museum tomorrow? We'll see. Before leaving the park, you stop by at Lev's Ice Cream and pick up a scoop of coffee ice cream from Panda Monica. I actually almost forgot about that. Panda Monica would have been pissed if she didn't get her coffee. With renewed vigor, you and Azazel find yourselves thrust into an all-new adventure. And as you look at the angel sitting next to you, it is difficult to imagine sharing this particular adventure with anyone else. Huh, okay. That was an unexpected twist for this date. A good old ice cream date turning into, well, actually starting a journey or mission. I am using the wrong words. Mission to help this museum out. So yeah, looks like Azazel's third date is set. We're gonna be figuring out which art pieces are real and which are fake. But that's Azazel's third date. Now, obviously, next date, justice. And I am looking forward to that. So if you guys enjoyed me and Azazel's short and sweet ice cream date, hit that like button. And consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me. And with that said, I'll see you around soon.